is because of the fact of his personal character. And I've been around a lot of people in Primerica, and one of the things I just wanted to share with everybody: look, everybody's got a different level of character here. If you think that everybody in Primerica has got 100% great character, wake up. That's not the real world. We're reflective of that. So we have a lot of people with great character, but there's some other folks that maybe need a little help, or there are others that maybe need a lot of help. Ricky Pitts has never been one of those. He's always had a person. I think he brought great character in here, and I think he continues to develop great character as he's here. And he makes good decisions for people and about himself. So I asked him to talk about this subject here this morning to help us wrap up. So, Ricky, the floor is yours. So happy to have you with us here this morning, and take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Terry, and thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the kind words, Terry. You are an outstanding leader, one that has a lot of patience and know what to say. And I've seen you use wisdom over the years because you could have said something to a person on the team in the base shop that could have just really alienated them. But you're always reading and learning and know how to diffuse a situation. You understand conflict resolution very well. And I think that's something that you've learned over the years because I've seen, and even, in your around other people, how you can handle things in such a wise way. That takes a lot of learning, experience, time. That just doesn't happen overnight. That's a pretty big deal, and so you are a great leader. So thank you. And thank you, team, for all that you've done and for allowing me to speak to you the way you have over the last several months, I guess it was several years. But I want to talk to you about something now that Terry asked me to talk about that I think is pretty important. I think it's important in everything we do, every move that we make, because if we don't do this right, we can set ourselves back 5 years, 10 years. Or we can prevent growth. We can retard progress as opposed to taking a quantum leap. And I think many of us have done that over the years. We wanted to be at a certain place and would have been at a certain place. But because of the decisions we made, not thinking about this factor called time and how it does not, it does not feel sorry. It does not empathize with me and you. It marches on. And so I'm going to talk to you about that tonight, today, making good decisions. And I'm going to pull something up here that I want you to take a look at. This is the same person at three different periods of time in their life. But I want you to think about this too. Everyone must change. And I'm going to read something to you that you've all heard. I'm going to read the lyrics of a song, some of the lyrics. And the song says, everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one stays the same. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring, a wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything must change. And if we don't make these decisions as we change in life, as you realize certain things, just like the fight last night. The fight last night, Mike Tyson realized something. It's time to get out of the ring. Okay, he in his heart he feels he can do it, and Jake Paul gave him some respect. He didn't annihilate him and kill him just because of the respect of his history and his name. He showed him a little bit of respect, but he could have just made the guy embarrassed. Could have embarrassed the guy real bad. But something has changed about him. So Mike Tyson now has to make, in my opinion, the good decision to get out of the ring and on the sideline and become a mentor and not in the ring fighting anymore. Everything has to change. And if he doesn't make a good decision, it's going to affect him in a way that could very well shorten his life, which would take him out of the game altogether, out of the family game. So all of us have to learn, and I think accept. We got to make some changes. I think also in business, business is growing in a concert of activities, and we have to lead and manage the band, not just manage the band, but lead and manage the band. Now, when I say that, team, all instruments are important. I used to play drums the entire set. For years, I played the drums. But the drums by themselves is just it's not a good sound. If you want to have a nice, smooth, relaxing, meditating sound, you're not going to get it with just the drums. Saxophone, keyboard, lead guitar, bass guitar, all together. And then you got somebody singing real softly with a beautiful voice. It's a concert. But one person trying to do all that at one time, it's going to be a very difficult job to do. And frankly, it's not going to sound too good. But then we also have to lead and manage. It's important that we make good decisions. And one of them is the decision not to say, do as I say, but not as I do. No, we got to say, do as I do. We have to lead. That's a decision. Now listen, that's easier said than done. We can all make our mouth say anything. This is the truth. Now we all, holding up both hands, we all are guilty. But we got to go on from just talking to taking action. And it's going to take a team. Nobody can really, I shouldn't say nobody, but typically it takes more than one individual to pull off something huge, large, monumental. It takes a team, it takes a strategy, a ground game, a game plan, a system, being able to turn off all the noise, to tune out the noise, to have tunnel vision, because the world out there is they don't always play fair. Another important thing is when I say decision, I want you to think about this, and I talked about this back last year, as a matter of fact. A conclusion or resolution determined after deep consideration. I think one reason why now people come on board and quit so quick, there's no consideration of the process. So when they come in and discover, wait a minute, I got to take a test. Hold it, I got to go and see people. You mean I got to be trained? You mean it's not just going to fall out of the sky like water, like rain falling from the sky? There's something I got to do. No, not to mention deep consideration, no shallow consideration. And they end up quitting. And so that's one of the reasons. So they can never say really and truly, I have made a decision. Now, when I say decision, team, and I said this again a while back, college is a decision. Some kids go to college and they just have fun and they just play and party, just party. And then 5.5, 6 years later, they still don't have a degree. They get a 4-year degree in 8, okay, because they didn't go to college, they didn't make a decision to study and do what needed to be done to graduate. It was a party. Also, marriage is a decision. Now, anyone that's been married for any period of time, let's say 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, anywhere in that period of time, you know that things change. You know that you ain't gonna look the same, okay? 10 years down the road, your wife ain't gonna look the same, your husband ain't gonna look the same. A lot of stuff is gonna change, okay, in 15, 20 years. And so the decision is, I'm going to stay here for the duration. The objective is until death do us part, in sickness and in health, for poor or for rich or for wealth. all the marriage vows, well, they make marriage vows up now. They got custom made marriage vows, and they last for about a week, sometimes 2 months or a year, and then they go into separate ways. So my point is, it is a decision to get that done, and we have to be able to make it and stick with it. Then I think also parenthood is a decision. And I'm talking about this now, and I want you to think about this also from a business standpoint. I'm just using these other examples that we can relate to. Why is parenthood a decision? Because children will do things that would make you so upset that you say, how are you related to me? Did I get the wrong child? But you love them. You love them unconditionally because that's your son, that's your daughter. Now the grandchildren is a whole nother level. It's a decision. And we can't disinherit the next generation. We can't disinherit the blood that's running warm in their vein that came from us. We just can't. It's a decision to love, to lead, to protect, to provide, to mentor, to direct, to give them financial support. That's a decision. And listen to this, it's a good decision. Although we might not understand it right now, but if we invest in our children, that's one of the best investments we can make because we're making them, in many respects, productive down the line so they can take care of themselves. So everything, there's a reason, and every decision has a consequence. Salvation is a decision. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that piece today because you may think I'm having church with you, okay? But for me, salvation is definitely a decision. If I had not decided, I think it was back in this was a long time ago for me, 1977. I was a young man. And I was out there, I was raised by a single mother with 4 boys. And if no father in the house, so no real disciplinarian. My mom was a disciplinarian too, but not like dad. And if I did not find the Lord, I'm telling you about me now, and I didn't learn how to bring what the Bible calls the flesh under subjection. If I didn't learn self-control and a moral code and an internal compass and the difference in right and wrong and not calling right wrong and wrong right, if I didn't learn how to change my mind, transform my thinking, and not conform to the world, I would have gotten lost. A young man, single mother, I had all kind of options out there in the world, all kind of opportunities to do the wrong thing, but I got in church young and early. I wasn't perfect as a young man in church, so but I didn't go out there and do things that was going to cause me to go to prison or to get killed. I didn't put myself in harm's way because I was taught a moral code from the Bible, the Bible. And so for me, salvation then made all the difference in the world for me. I think increase is a decision, team. Increase is a decision. I think we need to make meeting people natural. This is something that we have to work on intentionally. I think we need to also align our actions with our goals. We can, again, make our mouth say anything. I also think it's important, number 3, to build a business culture to where people understand this is a business, not a daycare. And what has happened down through the years as RVPs, and this is particularly true women for women. Don't y'all throw eggs and tomatoes at me right now. But women love to nurture and care for, and they want everybody to make it. Even when they got a big red neon sign on their chest saying, I don't want to do this. I quit. Come on, baby. Come on, sugar. Just a natural intent to mentor. But learn at some point you cannot make a person want to win. This is critical to understand that. And if not, you're going to find yourself having a whole lot of internal conflict. So build a business culture. Number 4 is learn the law of attraction. It is a law, team. And often we're going to attract who we are. So if we want to win, we're going to attract folks that want to win. We got some women on our team that want to win. Women that really want to win. And we got some on our team listen, let me say it this way. We got some on our team that I want to win. And we got some on our team that they want to win. Now, you got to know the difference. We all do. We have to love everybody, but this has to be a two-way journey. I want them to win, and they have to want to win, and that combination makes for a real good, a good team. The next important thing that's important is to embrace personal development. Why? Because we can't go where we don't know. In a meeting with the leadership meeting that Terry had on Lake Lanier, I got a chance to talk with Norman Da Silva longer than I have. I don't think I've ever talked to Norman that long. Well, he has a systematic process like drinking a glass of water. He knows it so well. And now I don't know if I can be that good, okay? As far as he just has it, it's oozing all. It's part of who he is. It's in his fiber. But I came back home and practiced a little bit of that. And I'm gonna give you an example. I talked with a guy. We got 5 more minutes, I think, here, so I got to make this real quick. This wasn't part of my notes here, but it just came up. The guy had a IUL contract. You know, this is financial services, which is what we do. Paying $775 a month. Young guy. $775 per month for $500,000. His wife had an IUL contract. She was paying $500 a month for $500,000. So I converted both of those over, gave him a whole lot more for a whole lot less, and did Roth IRA. He referred me to these folks in the medical profession. Another person in the medical profession also had an IUL, paying $500 a month. 43 years old now, young person. For $500 a month, had a $500,000. This guy's a $500,000 guy that sells these things, apparently. She referred me to another person. All these folks are from Nigeria, primarily. Just kept referring me to other people from the same area that's here in the medical profession. Only 43. She only had $250,000, paying $295 per month. I have another person to talk to also. I think she's from Nigeria as well. This is also in the medical profession. That probably has the same IUL. Norman said that when he leaves the house, he has the clients to schedule the appointments for him. That just blew me away. Now I haven't mastered that yet, and he's gonna send me a copy, either him or Rick, of his system. I probably can't do it exactly, but I promise you one thing: I can make a good decision to implement some of his concepts, and apparently it works. I just gave you some examples right here. So let me get back to my points here now. Notice attendance. Notice who's coming to the meetings and who's not. Open your eyes to the blessings all around, because blessings are everywhere and they abound. Think and work like a coach. This is also very important. This guy that you see on the screen here is a good friend of mine. He coaches up at Missouri, university level, and been a good friend of mine and a client for a long time. But he has an ability to call a play. He can make a decision, which is why he left Auburn University, Auburn Tigers, and he got a job there. He can call a play. This is one of my clients also up in North Carolina. And she's a head coach as well at the college level, and she understands the importance of taking a risk, a friend and client. And when I tell you, and this, I'm just showing you some of the coaches that I work with. It's quite a few more that I'm showing here now. But my point is, they understand how important it is to make good decisions, and they teach their players how to make good decisions. Then this other coach that I'm going to show you here now is also a head volleyball coach at Alabama State University, and she's all about self-improvement, real big into John Maxwell, and also as a head coach, an extremely tough, focused individual. Now, I have brought on 5 head coaches at the college level. The reason why I have not been able to get them to stick and stay is because their focus is so laser beam on coaching. I couldn't get them to concentrate long enough in the activities here to get in any traction. And I finally understood why. Because coaching, real coaching, takes a level of focus that is, I guess, is incomprehensible to the average Joe. What it takes to coach and to build a culture and to build an identity and to have respect. An example. Well, listen, I'm almost. I got one more minute, so I gotta evaluate. When I looked at my team, this is what I looked at. I'm gonna close it right here because I'm out of time now. But I want you to think about this. I looked at my team. I got 80 on POL. I saw 85. 85. Evaluate what the real numbers are. Don't be fooled. A church can have 1,000 people on the roll and 150 coming on Sunday morning. Evaluate what you really have. And sometimes it may mean, I'm gonna say this now, this may sound a little conflicting. You might have to clean house to begin again. Out here in Texas, Dallas is not doing too good. One of the players threw the head coach under the bus, one of the star players, which was way out of line, which means that the culture now is messed up. Now, if Jerry Jones don't bring another coach, I hate it for the coach, but he's lost control of culture and identity when a player on national television disrobes you in front of the team and world. There's no culture anymore. And so they got to tear it down and rebuild it. So my point is, make good decisions. Thank you, Terry. I think my time is up, and I appreciate it, everybody.